Hello again, fellow friends, and welcome back to this, the greatest of all great list videos. Of all the list videos I've made, this is the ultimate, the big one, the top 5 favourite games of all goddamn time. Up until this point, obviously, because these won't be my favourite games forever, but you know what I mean. Favourite games of all time, let's go. Number 5.
Such a lust for revenge! Ooh!
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Hideo Kojima. What a crazy, crazy man. He's currently impressing and confusing audiences around the world with glimpses of his upcoming magnum opus, Death Stranding. I don't know what's going on, but take my money. But before Sony snatched him up and took off his weighted clothing, allowing him to go balls out with his full power, he made a relatively restrained little indie magnum opus known as Metal Gear Solid 5.
Behold! Today is the day weapons learn to walk upright!
I said relatively restrained. I've absolutely adored the Metal Gear series since I played Metal Gear Solid 1 back in '97. My favourite story in all of video games is the one Kojima hallucinated in a fever dream and put to page every time he was tasked with making another Metal Gear Solid game. And Metal Gear Solid 5 closes the loop, acting as the bridge between the old era games, Metal Gear Solid 3 and Peace Walker, and the modern era games, Metal Gear onwards. Unfortunately, I was always a huge fan of the epically long cutscenes Kojima was fond of putting into the Metal Gear Solid games. I say unfortunately because there's very few of them in Metal Gear Solid 5. The few cutscenes we do get are pretty much all awesome, which makes the lack of them sting a little bit more. The story itself isn't actually all that great compared to the rest of the series, and in fact was never finished. Chapter 3 is the real Phantom Pain. But if the story and the story delivery method wasn't very good, then why is this game on the list? Because it has easily the best gameplay of the entire series.
Go on.
Poop. Easily. And that's the most important aspect of any video game. The gameplay. The sheer amount of weapons and gadgets you can develop using your R&D team, along with the open world and the approachability of each mission, result in a staggering number of ways you can go about tackling the many missions and side-ups the game has to offer. This means that missions are really only as hard as you want them to be. Take Mission 3, A Hero's Way, for instance. The main objective of this mission is to simply eliminate a Spetsnaz commander, but how you do it is completely up to you. Just a few of the ways you can handle this mission are: sniping while he's talking to his men,
Hey, that was target confirmed dead. Impressive work, boss.
sneak in, killing everyone on your way in and kill him up close, allowing you to interrogate him to get information.
That's the target. Target confirmed dead.
Sneak in non-lethally and extract him.
There, that's the target. Target secured.
Sneak in without any gear at all and extract him like a badass. Roll into town with a mech. Roll into town with a tank.
That was target confirmed dead.
Or just call in an airstrike.
That was
Pretty much every mission in the game has this level of freedom, and if you've got a better imagination than me, you can come up with some really creative and fun ways to use equipment. The game is just huge fun to play, gorgeous to look at, and the asynchronous multiplayer FOB mode extended the game's life for me way past the completion of the story. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a flawed masterpiece, and I loved every second of it. Oh, look at this, they're all here. I'm going for it. Boom! Boom! Anyone else? Didn't think so. That's how you do it! Well, almost. You see that? I click. Look! What the fuck? Bullshit! Wow! Like, normally they try and hide the bullshit by putting bars in between me and my opponent, but when they're right in front of you and the shots just don't touch them. Wow! I cannot. Oh man, okay. Keep a level head. Gotta stay calm. If you're gonna overcome the sheer bullshit, I would like to see anyone argue that that wasn't bullshit. Number 4. Final Fantasy X. Oh look, it's the game that topped my top 5 favourite Final Fantasy games video. If I'd made this list anywhere between 2002 and 2011, Final Fantasy X would have sat proudly at the top. This was my favourite game for 9 years. After having loved Final Fantasy VIII a few years earlier, I was really looking forward to this newest instalment, especially since it was the first Final Fantasy game to be released for the still new PS2, and the first one to be fully voice acted instead of text-based.
What am I supposed to say? You tell me it's my decision! But I don't have a choice, do I? You're the only one who can tell me what's going on anyways! I have to go with you, I have to!
irritating. I know. Or are you afraid?
The characters even had facial animations, which might sound like a silly thing to be excited about now, but it was genuinely an awesome new feature in gaming at the time. So I booked a week off work, which was my first job, so come to think of it, this was probably the first time I ever booked time off work, and it was to play this game. I spent 6 days of that week at my best friend's house. He'd heard of Final Fantasy, but had never played one. By the time I went home, we'd put 55 hours into the game. We'd reached the final boss, although we weren't anywhere near strong enough to beat him.
I promise this will be quick! Hit me with all you got, Dad!
Maybe it was because we were both the same age as Tidus, or maybe it was because, like Tidus, we'd recently found ourselves thrust into a new world full of possibility and danger, having recently finished school and just entered the adult world. But we were really able to relate to the plucky hero, and as a result, me and my friend greatly enjoyed the story and characters. A few years after I completed the game, I decided to play it again and complete all the side content like getting the celestial weapons, finding the optional Aeons, and unlocking all the arena monster creations, and of course, the Cactuar village. Cactuar? 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 Fuck it, Cactuar.
Come for another shot at old Saz, have you? Sweet mercy. Go. I don't believe we met. I know that trot. It is you, isn't it? Find yourself some fertilizer, did you? Well, size ain't everything. Ran off again.
Fast forward a bunch more years and they remastered it in HD, so I had to buy it. I greatly enjoyed playing through it again, and yes, I got the Platinum Trophy. I'd heard that Penance was the hardest enemy in the game, and they were not kidding. Even with the sphere grid entirely maxed out, I still had trouble beating it. One wrong move in the pattern and it's game over, as evidenced by a livestream where I spent 3 hours failing to kill it. Okay, now the arms are back. Immediately I have to go back to fighting the arms, because I need to destroy them before they have a turn, because they will attack me. Basically, they'll kill me in one hit, and they'll also inflict status ailments on everyone, which is normally what you use the ability Ribbon for, like I mentioned. But if you take care of the arms, then you don't need Ribbon. So I hope that was 3 hits on that arm. I didn't keep count, and if I don't keep count, that could be trouble. I'm going to assume it was 3. Oh look, they've all got their overdrives again. Beautiful. Go on, heal yourself with auto potion. It's a beautiful thing. If you want to hear how I feel about the actual gameplay, then go and watch my top 5 favourite Final Fantasy games videos. I'm just using this video to explain my history with the game because it holds a special place in my heart. Despite some of the, odd choices. Number 3.
We are Scooter Brothers! Scooter Brothers!
Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh look, it's the game that topped my top 5 GTA games video. What more can be said about GTA 5, the most financially successful media title of all time? Let that sink in for a minute. The highest grossing film of all time, James Cameron's Avatar, didn't even make half the money GTA 5 did and continues to make hand over fist. All thanks to those pesky shark cards. But enough bitching about shark cards, God knows I've done enough of that on this channel. I think the single player in GTA 5 is perfectly serviceable, I guess. I easily preferred the story in GTA 4, but I appreciate them trying new things in 5, like having multiple protagonists. The trouble is, they made damn near every character in the whole game a completely unlikable arsehole. Probably by design, and it was probably a commentary on the type of people who live in LA in general, but they were not fun people to be around. Honestly, the only reason GTA 5 is one of my all-time favourite games is the online mode. Me and my mates had such a blast from our humble beginnings, robbing convenience stores, all the way up to running criminal empires, mostly the import-export business. Yes! Look! Oh. Look! Oh, The steady stream of free DLC helped keep things fresh with new vehicles and slightly different ways to earn money, and while I've done my fair share of bitching about the game and complaining a lot, I still found myself playing it far longer than I thought I would. It managed to keep me interested for around 4.5 years. In that time I managed to crank out over 100 GTA 5 videos, ranging from simple let's plays to time-consuming Rockstar edited videos like my car showcases and GTA Online Vice. Go watch that series. Hell, I even made an informative video to ease new players into the game when it launched on the next-gen consoles.
It is of the utmost importance that you learn to navigate the quick menu with ease and speed. By holding down either select or back, depending on your method of playment, you will open the quick menu. From here, you can quickly set map markers without having to open the map.
I remember saying back in the day that I might retire from GTA Online once I hit level 200. Then I kept playing all the way up to 607 before I finally lost all interest. I put 101 days of my life into playing this game, and there's a good possibility that's more time than I've put into the game in the #1 spot on this list. Sadly, there's no way of knowing for sure. While I can't exactly put my finger on what the huge appeal of the game was for me personally, you can't argue with 101 days spent playing it. That kinda automatically makes it one of my favourite games of all time by default, doesn't it? Where is the Joseus? He's there.
He's dead.
On the ground.
Oh no, 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 no! Whoa,
Yes,
help!
yes, yes,
help!
yes, yes.
Wait, help! Okay. Number 2.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Mortal Kombat X. Oh look! It's the game that topped my top 5 favourite fighting games video. That was a lot of Fs in a row, wasn't it? This is the game that made me want to make this video. I thought it was about time to finally place this game in my top 5, and it was going to be third behind GTA 5, but as much as I love GTA 5, I spent way more time hating that game than I ever did MKX. This is my evergreen. Whenever I'm done with getting trophies on a game, or if I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for, MKX is always there. I go in and out of phases of playing it and then dropping it and then playing other games, but I always come back to MKX. It doesn't hurt that I'm not bad at it either. Panda says Scorpion in MK11 seems really nature now, Harps. One of his interests says I won't allow any more innocents to suffer from my pain. Yeah,
dog.
but you're forgetting that he's eternally angry man, and he can't control himself.
Death is more
So
honor
innocents
than you
will
deserve.
suffer at his hand.
Fight.
And regardless of that, if he really says innocents won't suffer because of his lust for revenge or whatever, then why doesn't he join merge the Shirai Ryu and not merge, but you know, join forces with the Lin Kuei? Because then they'll be stronger against evil, which will wait for it, protect innocents.
You test my patience.
I absolutely love pretty much every decision NetherRealm Studios made when it came to the production of this game. It's really hard for me to pinpoint how they could have made it better, outside of putting my boy Noob in the damn game. Top-notch graphics, sound effects, gameplay, single-player content, and a lack of loot boxes or other money-grubbing tactics all come together to make this game a joy from top to bottom. I'm looking forward to MK11 with so much anticipation. I'm talking Red Dead Redemption 2 and Elder Scrolls 6 levels of hype. 3 years after release and I'm still playing MKX regularly. No fighting game has come close to keeping me coming back as much as this one. I've even forged friendships with other YouTubers and MKX players through the game. It consistently gets the most views when I livestream it compared to streaming any other game, and of course it spawned the now legendary Chortle Kombat and the subsequent spin-off, Shortle Kombat.
Oh no, yo, oh no you didn't. Sucker tried to play me, but you never paid me, never. Oh no you didn't. Payback is coming, you will be running forever. Oh no you didn't. Until I get my vengeance, I will never end this mayhem. Oh no you didn't. I'm a mercenary, you ain't got a prayer, you owe me. Oh no you didn't. 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 Didn't you? Oh no, you didn't pay me what you owe me. So now it's over for you.
Perhaps your ice clone.
Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory.
Get out of my goddamn classroom before I break my foot off in your ass! Insubordinate and churlish.
When I add it all up, MKX has definitely left a mark on me and will truly go down as one of my favourite games of all time. Oh, and as much as I hate the idea of guest characters in fighting games, I can't deny that seeing Alien and Predator in the same fighting game is beyond cool. This is the real AVP right here.
It's game over, man!
Give us a kiss.
And my #1 all-time favourite game of all time up until this point of all time is... you all know it's Skyrim. You don't buy a game 5 times if it's not your favourite game ever. At least I hope not. Back in 2009, I was in the market for some new games, and I wanted to try things I'd never heard of before, so I picked up Condemned and something called The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Both pre-owned and both for a total of £11. Little did I know what a bargain that would turn out to be. I fell in love with Oblivion and introduced it to a friend who also fell in love with it. Every time we met up, we'd exchange tales of our adventures, sharing knowledge, and it never ceased to amaze us how different our adventures were considering we were playing the same game. Needless to say, we were more than a little excited about the release of Elder Scrolls V, and that excitement was well justified. I know there's people out there who cry at the game being dumbed down for a more casual audience, but I prefer to think of it as having been streamlined, taking away the rubbish and just leaving what's fun. For me at least. By all means, love Morrowind. I'm never going to try and convince you it's a bad game or anything, but I hated every second of it when I went back to play it a year or two after Skyrim came out. If something's in front of me, I should be able to hit it, not go hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss, hit. Fuck that shit.
Get that nasty shit out of my face!
You may like having your combat dictated by dice rolls, but if something's in front of me, I should be able to hit it. Full stop. Another thing I loved about Skyrim that some people didn't like was the removal of weapon and armor degradation. I hated having to carry a load of repair hammers around in Oblivion and watch as my weapons and armor got worse and worse as I progressed through a dungeon. It just seemed like a chore to have to keep maintaining my gear.
What's the matter?
In Skyrim, you just equip stuff and you're good. But I'm not going to go into all the reasons why I prefer Skyrim to Oblivion. I made a video for that a while ago. You probably recall all the way back a couple of minutes ago when I said I might have put more time into GTA Online than the game that holds the top spot on this list. Well, 101 days is around 2,400 hours, and I'm pretty sure I've put more than that into playing Skyrim since 2011. I've made well over 30 characters across 5 versions of the game, and since I don't have all my PS3 and Xbox 360 characters anymore, I can't go adding up all the time I've put in, but I'm pretty damn sure it's somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 hours. But there's no way of knowing, god damn it! Despite the amount of time I've put into the game and getting the Platinum Trophy on the PS3 and PS4 versions, I'm working on the VR version, just give me time, there's still stuff I've never done in Skyrim. For instance, I've never fought Karstag. I've never fought Volthruyol, or however the fuck you pronounce that dragon's name. I've never collected all the Dragon Priest masks, although I do know what happens when you do. And I've never found all the words of power on a single character. 7 years after release, Skyrim is a game that still has a few surprises in store for me, and that's kind of unbelievable. The game was an absolute phenomenon that spawned countless memes and has been referenced in games such as Doom 2016, The Witcher, and Borderlands 2. I believe the game is worth all the hype it receives, and despite its famously buggy nature, I mean come on, it is a Bethesda game, you guys. That doesn't detract from the overall experience. And that's the right word. You don't play Skyrim, you experience it. And that's exactly what I did. £280 worth of experience. And that's why Skyrim's my favourite game of all time. Come on, Elder Scrolls 6. When you finally come out in 2024, maybe you'll take the top spot. So what do you guys think? What are your top 5 favourite games? How foolish do you think my list is? Putting a fighting game in second? Am I crazy? Who knows? I know Panda has it as his top. Let me know what you think of the list, and maybe leave some ideas for future list videos that you guys might want to see. And who knows? I might listen. I'll definitely read, but I might listen. Thanks for watching.
I didn't know giant Nirnroot was a thing. This is news to me. I didn't know giant Nirnroot was a thing. That's awesome. I'm still finding new stuff that I've never seen before in this game. And that's just one of the reasons why it's my favorite game ever. It's just, there's so much to see. Hey, you can see me. That's not fair. Okay, you want a piece? Let's do this. Hup! Yeah, got ya. Come on. Come down. Oh, here we go. Oh no, you're invisible. Right, dead. Okay, wait. No, wait, I said. Okay, my health is fine. Yes! I got a Reekling to help me! Yes! The Reeklings are here! Because I'm their chief! Remember? About an hour ago, when I killed their chief? Because the chief was like, you want to kill me, don't you? And I was like, well, I didn't think about that until you said that. So I killed him. And the Reeklings have come to save me! Oh my god. That is amazing! I've never seen that! Because I guess I've only ever done the Reekling quest once, and I didn't choose to kill the chief and become chief. I was like, no, you're good, and I left. Look at this! They appeared they appeared like an Akio out of nowhere. Also a code breaker. Code breakers are equally out of nowhere. Oh my god, I can't believe, man, look at this! Seeing shit I've never seen before. Oh, you want a piece, don't you? Oh no, don't heal faster! Yeah, thank you. Oh man. Oh yes, I thought she killed him, but they're all still alive. Give me 5. No, 5. Oh, fuck him.
I've never fought Volthruyol. Volthruyol? Probably should have read that first. I've never fought Volthruyol. I've never fought Volthruyol, or however the fuck you pronounce that dragon's name. While I can't exactly put my finger on what the huge appeal of the game was for me personally, I can't exactly put my finger on what the huge appeal of the game was for me personally, While I can't exactly put my finger on what the huge appeal was... Now, what the fuck line is this? Well, I can't exactly put my finger on what the huge appeal of the game was for me personally. What kind of a sentence is that? You fucking wrote it, you moron. While I can't exactly put my finger on what the huge appeal of the game was for me personally, you can't argue with 101 days spent playing it. Boom, bitch!
Bring that boom, bring that boom.